Hi everyone, my name is Sanjeev. In this video, I will demo how to integrate Azure Cosmos DB in Mule application. Let's start the demo. I have created a Azure Cosmos DB Mule application. I have flow for create document, get document, and query documents. I will enhance these flows for creating a document and getting document from Cosmos DB and for querying the document from Cosmos DB. But first I will configure and create a Cosmos DB in Azure Portal. So I will go to the Azure Portal. So I'm inside Azure Portal. Here I will click the Azure Cosmos DB. I will create the Cosmos DB database. So I will click create. First I will select the API. So I will select the Azure Cosmos DB for NoSQL. I will click create. Subscription is pay as go. I have only one subscription that is already selected. For resource group, I will select Mule AP resource group. Now I have to provide the account name for Azure Cosmos DB account. So I will give the name Mule App Cosmos DB account. For location, I will select first I will search India, then I will select Central India. I will keep the rest of the options default. I will click review plus create. Validation successful. I will now click create. Cosmos DB account is initializing, deployment is in progress. It will take a few minutes. So I will pause the recording for a few minutes. Once the deployment is complete, I will start the recording again. Cosmos DB account has been created. Deployment is complete. I will go to the resource. I will click the browse under containers. Here I will add a collection. I will click add collection. Now I will click new container. So here for new container, I need to provide a database name, database ID. So I will create a database stored DB. That would be our database. Container ID, I will give the name store. So container is like a table in RDBMS database, and Cosmos DB is a NoSQL database. Container will store the documents like RDBMS table stores the rows, and Cosmos DB stores the document in JSON format. Stores contains the collection of JSON documents. Partition ID, I will give city. I will keep everything as a default. So I will click OK. Store database has been created and it has a container collection store. and it would have multiple documents items here, and city is our partition ID. NoSQL database provides the feature of partition. You can partition the data. It have a logical partition, physical partition. All the entities document that belongs to the same partition, they stay together. That helps in the querying the data. It also provides the sharding. Sharding provides the horizontal scaling. NoSQL database has a good feature of horizontal scaling. Now we can add the new item, new document. So I can click the new items. This is the ID. Each document have ID. I can provide the ID 100, and I can provide more columns for store. Let me copy the columns from my notepad. So I can pass these store attributes, it's store fields, or you can say store columns. So this is a one store document, and it is in JSON format, and ID is 100. It has name Walmart. It's a Walmart store. Type is supermarket. City in Dallas. State in Texas. Let's save it. So this document has been saved in store collection, store container, and inside the store DB database. So this one be provided, and this is has been created by Cosmos DB, these fields. So we have a Cosmos DB account, we have Cosmos DB database, we have a document container collection, that is store. Now I will move to the Anypoint Studio, and I will create some of the document from Mule application. So this is a create flow. Here we have HTTP listener. This is the endpoint, create document, partition ID I'm sending by URI parameter, and this is just a transform component, and this is just a logger. I will add first Cosmos DB MuleSoft connector. I will add the Azure Cosmos DB connector. Cosmos DB connector has been added to our Mule application. I will use the create document operation. Here I will configure the configuration. I already have a configuration, so let me delete it so I can explain from start. So I will delete this previously created configuration, and I will go back, and I will click again. Now I will create the configuration from beginning again. Click plus sign. Here I will use the key token, Cosmos DB key, for creating configuration. I will not use the resource token. I will use the key token. So click OK. Here I will provide the database URL, key, and the version. So I will go to the portal, Azure Portal. I will go to the overview, and this is the database URL. I will copy it and paste it here. So this is our database account URL. For token, I will go back to the portal. I will click keys, and here I will copy the primary key. So I'll copy the key. For version, I will use the version 2018-12-31. This is API version, NoSQL API version. Let me copy this first. So for version, I searched in the Google for supported REST API version, and I found this detail here. So this provides the supported REST API version. So right now it's supporting 2018-12-31 for partition collection automatic migration. So that's why I'm using this version there. I will click test connection. So we are able to connect to the Cosmos DB account. Click OK. So our connector configuration is working. It's fine. Now I will provide the database ID. So I will go to the portal and copy this detail. I will go to the browse, and this is our database ID. So I'll copy this store DB, and collection ID is store. So this is our collection ID store. For partition key, I will use the URI parameter partition key. I will send from Postman. So I will get the partition key from the URI parameter attributes dot URI params dot partition key. For payload, let me copy the body format from my notepad. So we need to pass the body in JSON format. Now I'm just changing the response here in JSON format, and here I'm logging the payload response. Let me run this application. So in portal, right now I have one document. Open Data Explorer. Click items. So this is the store, we saved it couple of minutes back. So we have one document here already. Our Mule application has been started. Let me clear the console. Now I'm going to invoke this endpoint, create document, partition key, and I'm going to create a couple of more documents. The Postman, create document. So this is a endpoint we are going to call. So I will send some store. Partition ID, I will select San Francisco. Click send. Return status 400. Okay, we got the bad request. Let me check this issue. I have found the issue. The partition key that we need to send is array. We cannot send a single string. We need to send with the big parenthesis. That's why I enhance this value. So I'm passing big parenthesis and then partition that is coming from URI parameter. Let me stop this application and I will run it again. Application has been deployed. Clear the console. I will go to the postman. Now I will send the partition ID San Francisco and this is the payload body. I'm going to click send. We got the response. Let me go to the portal, refresh it. So we got second document ID 200 and partition ID San Francisco. This is a new record. Now I will create two more record. Store Amazon. Click send. So we got Amazon store. Now I will create cash and carry store. And partition ID is Dallas City. City Dallas. Click send. Let me go to the portal. So we should be having now four documents. We have four documents. Walmart, Flipkart, then we have Amazon store, and then we have cash and carry. So we have created four store total, three from the Mule application. Now I will retrieve the document, these stores. So for that, I will go to the Cosmos DB, Azure Cosmos DB connector, and I will get the get document operation and I will drag it here. I will use same configuration for database ID. I will use the store DB as database ID. Collection ID is store. Document ID, I will retrieve first Walmart. So I will give ID 100 because we have ID 100 for Walmart store. I will keep the rest of the fields default. So endpoint is get document, partition ID, document ID. So I will use partition ID as well and I will use document ID. So instead of hard coding, I can use the document ID from URI parameter. So I will say attributes dot URI params dot doc ID and for partition ID, let me copy the value of partition ID from here, create document. So we are sending partition ID as well. Save it, stop, and run the application. Our application has been deployed. Clear the console. I will go to the postman. Now I will get the document. So here I am sending the partition San Francisco document 300. Click send. We got the result. So we retrieved the Amazon store. We can also retrieve the other store as well. We retrieved 300. Let's retrieve the Flipkart 200. So we retrieve Flipkart also. Similarly, we can retrieve Walmart as well. Dallas doc ID is 100. Partition ID is Dallas. So we got Walmart. Let's get 400 also. So we retrieve the cash and carry as well. Now I will show you how to query the Cosmos database. So this is the endpoint, get documents. Let me go to the Azure Cosmos DB connector, and here I will pick the query document operation and drop it here. So database is store DB, collection ID is store. For body, I will give the query here and the parameter. So let me copy the format from here. So I need to send the JSON format, and this is the query. So payload have a select from store where store state is equal to state, and state I am passing as a parameter. So it is a comma separated list of parameters. Here I am using sending only one parameter. That's why I am providing only one parameter value. So I am selecting all the store that belong to California state. So this would be my query. This is a JSON object. It has two properties, query and parameter. Let me copy it and paste it here. I will save it, right click, stop, right click, start the application. Our application has been started. Let me clear the console. Now I will invoke this endpoint query documents and response I'm transferring in JSON format. I'm logging the response here. We should be seeing the result in JSON format that is coming out of this operation query documents. In fact, we are trying to get all the stores that are in the state California. Let me go to the postman. I will send this request. I'll call this endpoint query document, click send. request returns code 400. Let me see what is issue. I will come back once I find the issue. So I found the issue. Here for XMS document DB query enable cross partition, we have to choose the cross partition true, then only it's working. So I will choose the cross partition to true. So it will search the document across the partition. So I'll make it true, save it, and run the application. Application has been started. Let me clear the console and I will send the request again. I will invoke this endpoint, query documents, click send, and we got the result. For California, we have Flipkart and we have Amazon, two stores with ID 200 and 300. And that's what we have in our database. So we have Flipkart in California and we have Amazon in California. In this video, I showed you how to configure the Cosmos DB count, how to create a database, how to create container, how to add the document from Data Explorer, and then later on I showed you how to use the Azure Cosmos DB MuleSoft connector, and I use the create document, get document, and query documents operations to create the document in Cosmos DB NoSQL database, and I retrieve the document by ID and partition key, and then I showed you how to query the NoSQL database Cosmos DB. I hope this helps how to interact with the NoSQL database Azure Cosmos DB. This is all in this video. If you like this video, click the like button and subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.